Should Julie go ahead and give that presentation? Hey, this is Pascal, and this is part of my series on changing situations using mental reprogramming on yourself. And this is part 2 of that situation where Julie has an opportunity to give a presentation at this one-day seminar organized by her department. She works at the federal government. And last time we ended on this dilemma. Should she give the presentation? Is it going to be worth it? Maybe nothing will come out of it. Her boss, he's just trying to play political games. Her coworkers, she realized, they don't really want to change any processes, and they don't want to learn anything new either. She's thinking that higher ups are not interested in hearing everybody's thoughts. She wants to guarantee that something will come out of it. At the same time, she's thinking, well, if giving a presentation won't do anything, and that's sort of the conclusion that she had. Even if I do something, it's going to heighten the cynicism with the rest of the team or the rest of the people, because they're going to say, well, only the people that are trying to brown nose it, the higher ups, are going to get some opportunities, and nobody's going to think about us. You see, this sort of cloud of cynicism is spreading everywhere, and she's thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to change that, and she's sort of catching it. So she's thinking, there's really nothing that can be done here. I've got to leave this place. I've got to leave this sector completely. I've got to find myself a new job. But she's not ready to do that yet because she doesn't have enough experience. She doesn't feel she has enough. So now she's thinking, she's conflicted, because now she's saying, it's either I leave this place, which she can't do, or I give the presentation and nothing will change. So all this stuff now is conflicting, and she's thinking, what can I do? She realizes the fact that she has these conflicting thoughts, these conflicting ideas, is proof enough that she has still some mental models that she has to clear up. She still has some lenses that are coloring her options. And she's going to write that down. Unless I leave, she's saying, I won't advance on my ideals. I need to leave this place. Nothing good will come out of it. Well, maybe. It's either I put effort into leaving, or I put effort into giving the presentation and trying to change things. It can't be both. And now she's thinking, that's actually kind of interesting. So she notices that this is an either-or mental model. This is a lens that says there's an opposition and there's only two options. And of course she's feeling conflicted by this, but now she's like, it's interesting that this is the source of my conflict, that I perceive only two options. Maybe it can be both. Maybe she can both prepare, put effort into leaving, and give the presentation at the same time. And that sort of opens up for her another way of seeing how this is done. Yes, this place actually is fraught with problems, and yes, she could probably work toward leaving and applying her ideas somewhere else. At the same time, she can give the presentation, and she's realizing that if she gives the presentation, she's going to be detached from the cynicism that is in the place now. She's going to be detached from it because she no longer needs to feel as though she needs to change the situation here, because otherwise it's going to be crappy and she's going to have to leave. Now she's oriented towards creating a better situation wherever it is, and at the same time she can influence the situation here. That's interesting to her. But there's something else too, is now she can use a list that looks like what it's going to be like when she leaves. Before I leave this place, she says, I'll have given presentations, I'll have affected change, so far so good, collected some good stories to tell. Now that is hitting the nail on the head, she's thinking. Collected some good stories. It doesn't matter if nobody comes to her presentation anymore. It doesn't matter if nothing good comes out of giving the presentation on a calculable level. It doesn't matter if everybody else is cynical. She realizes that the mere posture of giving the presentation as if something could happen, like it's going to be better, and doing it anyways, even if the odds are against her, and not being tied to those results, not to have her ego tied to the results of giving the presentation, is the actual thing that she will get out of giving the presentation, despite the odds. So now, with this information, she's thinking, that's what I've got to do. I've got to give the presentation. And she goes on to prepare before I can have something ready to present or something to pitch for the selection committee, etc. So she goes into that gear and to make those lists and to get herself ready for that. But now she got to the bottom of what it is that she needs to do. Now, this video is not about convincing you to, no matter what, give presentations or give it a try. That's not the conclusion to have. The conclusion to have here is that there may be some situations where it really clearly has no benefit for you to try and affect the change or to try to change the situation in particular. Some places are a dead end. However, using these two methods of pretending you're at the end, and let's say everything went well, what are you going to be celebrating? That one called have done lists, and the other one is called mental models, which is make an inventory of your beliefs and your outlook on the truth of this situation and correcting with the real truth. Those two things help you see things as they are or as they can be, and connect not just with the rational aspect but also the emotional, what makes you upset or triggered or inspired to do something about this. So this meshing of the two allows you to discern what to do given what's ahead of you. If you've got a situation that you'd like me to cover in the next video, please leave a comment below. If you'd like for you and me to discuss your particular situation in private and you'd like to go over that and you'd like a bit of coaching, there's an option below on my website so you can book a time with me. I've got some free availabilities if you're willing to wait a few weeks, or if you want to have it sooner, there's some paid options as well. So I hope this was useful. You can find all those links below in the description. Subscribe to be notified of my upcoming videos. I've got a few good ideas of situations lined up, and I hope that you continue to try to change situations for the better. See you next time.